then we'll work on it together. Okay? Wow, that was awesome. Great job. All right. So just to start off, do you know what an arabesque is?
No.
Now, it's a kind of a complicated word, right? So arabesque, do you know what ballet is, right? Ballet dancers, like they wear those nice pink tutus. Well, they're, if you think about like the Nutcracker Suite, these are dancers who, you know, they stand on their tippy toes and they dance around very lightly. Arabesque is a dance position in ballet where they one leg is pointing down and the other leg is stretched out. And basically, you have to kind of imagine that when you're playing this piece, all these movements, like them dancing and jumping around, actually. So while I really loved all your fast fingers and how they're moving, I think what would make this even better is if you can play lighter, like a ballerina, right? Like a ballerina dancing and jumping around. That's what this piece is all about. That's why it's called arabesque. So how do we achieve that lightness? Right now, I noticed that when you're pressing the keys, and my camera's a little bit far, so I'll show you right here. Right now, our first joint seems like it's bending a lot right now, which is gonna make things more mushier. So if I play the piano with flat fingers, it sounds like I'm kind of like mashing everything. But I want it to be crispy and short. Right? Do you see how that's different? Listen one more time. That's when I play with flat fingers and it's you know, more mushed. This is when I round my fingertips and play lighter. You hear the difference? It's a little bit different, right? So we're trying to aim for lightness because we're trying to imitate that ballerina position. So how do we do that? Well, first, I want you to try this, okay? I want you to kind of hold your fingertips really tightly like this. Yeah. And then I want you to kind of like knock, 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 knock with your other hand. Try your other hand.
Knock.
Yeah, with your other hand, I want you to take your pointer finger and see if you can go knock, 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 knock. Can you do that? Yeah. See, this part has to be really, really tough here, but watch this. Oops. Right? We don't want it to bend like that. So we're gonna take strong fingertips here. Try the third finger. Can the third finger also be really, really strong here? You feel that? Nice. Okay. Now try the fourth finger. Can the fourth finger be strong? Good. Very, very good. So when you're playing on the piano, we're going to be playing on the fingertips. Actually, you don't want to play on the flat part. Okay, that's where it gets all mushy. You want to play just on the fingertip where this guy doesn't bend. You don't want this to happen. So you know how you see slurs? What's a slur again? Do you know what a slur is? Have you learned that?
Something like this?
Yeah. The lines where it connects from one note or series of notes. What is that? What do you do when you see a slur? you know?
First, soft and loud.
That's dynamics. That's like piano and forte. That's like crescendo. When you see those lines, in my music, it looks like this, but probably your music is similar. These lines here, when you see a slur, you want to play smoothly, right? Smooth and connected. Like you don't want to play like that, right? You did the right thing. You connected everything and you played smooth. But we're gonna do a quick experiment. Okay, this is not how you play at a recital, but as practice, we're gonna actually try to play staccato. Okay, so when you play staccato, it's gonna sound like this. And maybe you can't really, yeah, so this, let me explain to you how we're gonna play short, okay? Because I think when we normally play staccato, we jump up like this, right? We lift our entire hand. Well, we're not actually gonna do that. We're gonna keep our hand on, near the keys. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of like pick at the note, pick, pick, pick. Like you're kind of like scratching yourself, pick, 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 bum, 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 bum. So just these guys are moving, okay? Dun, 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 dun. But this is not moving. Okay, so if you look at me one more time. You see how I'm not doing this? Can you try that for me? Let's see what happens. That's pretty good. Try to kind of like, can you do this with your fingers? Right. You're just moving these guys. A little guy, right? You're not gonna move your whole hand. Just these guys at the front. Bum, 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 bum. That's pretty good. More backwards like this. Try this motion. Yeah, keep your hand steady and you're just moving your fingertips. That's all. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So let's try the whole 4 measures like this. I know there's no dynamics or anything like that, but we're just focusing on making those guys pop, 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 pop. Yeah, it's kind of different, right? Way different from what you were doing. But if you keep practicing this separately, then when you kind of go faster and you keep that same mindset, see, I'm going super fast now and it sounds like I'm doing a slur, but actually I'm still pop, 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 pop. I'm not mushing any of those keys. That's how we're going to achieve that lightness. So let's just do this. Let's do 5 different speeds. So we're going to do super slow. Try that. You're still kind of going upwards. Can you just isolate these little fingers? Like you're scratching the keys. Yeah, and try to do it really quickly. Nice. Okay, let's try a little bit faster. Faster movements, right in the middle, and then try that. A little bit faster. Pretty good. Okay, so at the end, we're gonna, that's when we leave. That's when the ballerina goes whoop into the air. So we're gonna do our little finger thing. Exactly. Right, so we're gonna let go and leap into the air. Let's try that. Keep going. Da, 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 da. Oh, it's kind of sound a little mushy. Separate those. Da, 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 da. So remember, it's not about pushing. It's about kind of like swiping, like scratching, right? Only move the tip. That's pretty good. Let's try that one more time. Good. Da, 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 da. That's pretty good. So use that wrist. Right, right. So actually you should hear like a tiny bit of a space in between each 16th note, just a tiny bit. So that when you play fast, it sounds super crispy and it doesn't sound mushy. That's kind of what we want. How about we try the left hand? You know where the left hand begins right here? Let's go super slow. And remember, we're gonna just pluck, like imagine you're plucking like string. Like that's pretty good. Try the next one. Good. And the next one. Oh, your left hand's really good. Very good. Okay, so now we're gonna use our wrist again, remember? So we're gonna go lift. There's like one note that was kind of mushy, right? Oh, that's pretty good. Next one. Good. Try a little bit faster, but separate each note. Okay, good. How about you go on? Can you try this one? The C sharp? A little mushy. Can you yeah, pluck the string. Stay close to the keys. Don't jump around too much. I'm still touching the keys. Good. Next one. Separate these guys. Mushy. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Good. So this practice, if you do it enough times, you'll start to get the hang of it. I don't expect anyone to understand how to do this overnight. So, but you did a really, really good job for your first try. And of course, you're not going to be just doing staccato when you're playing for real, right? It's kind of like an illusion, right? Like you're pretending to do staccato, but then people actually hear it connected. So when you go fast, it sounds smooth, but in reality, I'm just plucking every single finger. That's how we're going to get super, super light, okay? So the last thing that I want to mention is kind of phrasing this from the beginning of this measure all the way to up here. Can you tell me which direction are we going? Are we going up the keys or are we going down?
Up.
We're going up, right? And each time we're going higher and higher. So I think we should do something different about our dynamics, right? Should we go louder or should we go softer? What do you think? Louder. So the first one is piano, very light, very light. Yep, so that's level 1. And then level 2 is a little bit louder. And even louder. Oh, well, I think we skipped 1, right? Can you go back and do that one more time? Yes, 1, 2. The last one is the loudest one. You're actually doing the ending, but that's okay. We can do the ending too. That was pretty good. Let me hear you start super, super small, so soft. Can you try softer? Yeah, when you play soft, you can't go to the bottom of the key. That's too heavy, right? So stay kind of like you're splashing on the surface of the water. You're just getting, yep, just the surface. This is too deep. Yeah. Yep, and then try to go a little bit louder for the next one. Remember to move it each finger, pluck each finger. And get louder. Can you get louder for the next one? And then, oh, let's try that one again. Really dig into the keys. Yeah, so when you're trying to make loud sounds or soft sounds, it depends on how deep you go into the keys. If you go very deep and you play with a lot of speed, then it's going to be forte. It's going to be really loud. But if you don't go all the way down and you just stay on the surface, then you're going to be playing very lightly there. Does that make sense? Very good. How about we try the left hand now? So the left hand chords, do you think they're more important than the right hand right now? Or do you think they're less important? The left hand.
Left hand.
Yeah, left hand. Is the left hand more important than the right hand? What do you think? Do you think this is the melody? No, this is boring. These are just chords, right? Because they're not so important, we want to make that left hand as soft as possible. Okay, so that means, remember what I said? Don't go so deep, don't push it so hard, but just on the surface. Try that. Yeah, it's kind of fluffy. It's like a poof, like a cloud, right? Poof, poof. This is too heavy. That's too much. That's good. So then when you play both hands, you have to notice the balance. How is your left hand doing when your right hand is playing the melody? Is your left hand competing with the right hand? Or is your left hand underneath the right hand? Try from the very beginning now. So start from here and then keep it quiet. I like that. The balance was so much better, and now I can actually hear the melody very clearly. That was good. Can you do the whole entire like A section, the first like 8 measures or so, or 9, 10 measures? That's good. So there's one little tiny detail. Do you notice in the first ending, there is something that says SF? Do you see that SF? You don't have it? I think maybe just my score has it. This guy right here. Do you have that?
No.
No? Okay. Well, you might have some sort of maybe accents or some sort of other marking. Generally, when you play that note, it's a really strong note. It's kind of like a suddenly like an alarm clock just went off, right? That's the chord I'm looking for right there. So it's very powerful. You see in the score right there? Yeah, that SF stands for sforzando. Sforzando, complicated word, right? Just think of super forte. It's extra loud. It's extra powerful. So we need to make sure that comes out very clearly. Yeah, so suddenly what? Can you try that? Start like, yeah. Oh, I see a staccato. Dum, let go, dum, bum. And then suddenly, oh, even more. With your whole body. Yeah, it's supposed to wake you up. Like you're about to fall asleep because it's so light and soft, and suddenly, whoa, and then you go back, right? It's supposed to be alarming. It's not supposed to be pretty. So try that one more time. Yeah, can you start from here? Yeah, let go, nothing. And then you can go. Yes, very good. I like the motion too, very good. So remember that that's a special moment. That doesn't really happen in many other places in this piece. Okay, so today we really talked about how to play lightly with our fingertips. So just the first part of your finger needs to move. Okay, nothing else moves. This whole hand doesn't move, just this part. So I would like for you to explore that when you're practicing. Of course, consult with your teacher if that's the appropriate method or not. And then think about the balance. Think about when you're, if one hand is not playing the melody. So like, for example, when you play this part, well, I guess that's different because the right hand has kind of a sub melody there. But definitely when you play chords, that's not super important. So you want to keep it as light as possible there. Okay. Overall, very good playing. It was so awesome to meet you, Daniel. And thank you for being a part of this and for playing today. Okay. I hope to see you soon one day. All
Great
right.
job. Great job, Daniel. Great job. All right. So that was Daniel. So we have